Hey guys, I'm here with Brittany Blankenship of Draper and Kramer Mortgage. And Brittany is a loan officer extraordinaire. She's been in the business for a while. She's been originating loans and helping shepherd them to closing. And I brought her in today to talk a little bit about what happens behind the scenes in a mortgage operation. Because most of the buyers out there think that once they get pre-approved, things are just pretty much smooth sailing from there. But really, there's a lot more that happens right behind the scenes. So,
Yes.
Brittany, please enlighten us and tell us a little bit about what happens behind the scenes in a mortgage operation.
Thanks for having me. So behind the scenes of a mortgage operation, like Van said, a lot of people think up front, once you get the pre-approval, you write a contract and you own a home. I wish it was that easy, but we as a team of professionals do try to make it that easy for you. But in the process of the mortgage, you have several professionals helping get the process done. We have a lot of things that have to be done behind the scenes, such as verification of employments at the beginning of the process, and then again right before closing. We have to repull your credit during the process. We have on the verifications of employments. A lot of times, the employers are hard to get a hold of or don't want to give us the documentation, so we have to get your help in getting that. We have appraisal companies that have to do appraisals, and they have to be reviewed by an appraisal review team. We have condos that have to be approved. So it's not just as simple as getting the pre-approval and being done. We have a huge team. We have underwriters, we have processors, we have appraisers, appraisal review teams. Depending on other types of loans, like FHA government loans, we have to do stuff on their website to get case numbers and stuff. So it's a huge operation, a professional team to get you there within 30 days or less. A lot of times much quicker than that.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff goes on very quickly that you don't realize behind the scenes.
It always amazes me to see
Yes.
how many people are actually involved in getting a loan from start to
Absolutely.
finish. I mean, you mentioned a bunch of the people involved. There's a loan officer, but there's also loan officer assistants,
Yes, they do a ton.
processors, underwriters, right? All these people that are involved. It's amazing. One of the things you might not know is the banks really don't make these rules. Most of them come from large government agencies like Fannie Mae, Housing and Urban Development, Federal Housing Administration. They kind of set the rules, right?
Right.
So it's not like the bank is just trying to make your life difficult.
Right.
There's just often a lot of guidelines that they
Absolutely.
have to follow,
We have
right?
to comply just like you do.
Okay, so tell us, what are some of the problems that actually come up in the loan underwriting journey that could cause delays in the loan being cleared to close?
So we have several different things could come up during the process, but some of the biggest ones are, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, verification of employments. Employers can take a while to get back for the verification of employments, especially at the end, which we have to have a final verification of employment before your loan closes. So we need that. A lot of people have cash money that they think it's acceptable for a mortgage. We call it mattress money. You keep it in the safe, you keep it under your mattress. But unfortunately for the loan process, that doesn't work. It has to be in banks. We have to source all your money. There has to be a paper trail. We open a new debt. A lot of people get a contract. Then they want new furniture. They go to Ashley Furniture, see awesome couch, open a credit card.
You gotta get furniture.
Right, open a credit card because they don't want the money out of their bank account. But that always comes up at the end. And in some cases, it could kill a deal, or if it doesn't, mess up the deal, it just is a lot more paperwork that we would like to prevent up front.
Okay, very good points there. All right,
Yes.
so what can a buyer do in advance to minimize all these things? Like, what strategies could they employ?
Biggest thing is be honest with your loan officer. When you first start the process, get pre-approved before you go start looking at houses. One, you want to get pre-approved to find out what your comfort level is for a payment and what you feel comfortable and what the highest is you can get pre-approved. A lot of people, come to us wanting a home for, $800,000 when they can only get pre-approved, or they're out looking for homes when $800,000, they can only get approved for $600,000. So at the beginning, they're crushed because they can't get pre-approved for that much. So what you need to do is come meet a loan officer, be honest with us about everything you have. If you have mattress money, tell us. If you plan on opening new debt or going to a new job, tell us up front so we can eliminate the stress and set you up on a path for success in buying a home.
That's really good. And how often during the process are you going to be asking for documents and other things?
A lot. So basically we do up front. So the loan officer requests the documents up front, and then the loan officer assistant usually looks at it, and then it goes to processing. A lot of times the processor might ask for one or two things, hopefully not, but then we send it to underwriting. Then what happens is underwriter reviews everything and asks for additional documents. Any document, we try to only ask for documents twice, but any document you can give us can open additional documents needed, such as large cash deposits on bank statements, different stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. So opening up a can of worms is a
Yes.
real possibility,
Yes.
right? All right. So what I get from this is there's two major things: transparency from the buyer,
Yes.
okay, and responsiveness. Okay. Be responsive when you ask, and please trust me. Don't get frustrated and say another document, because honestly, it's not Brittany and her team that's setting the rules. Really, it's mostly government-initiated guidelines that the banks and the lenders have to follow.
Right. And another thing that I forgot to mention, a big thing is paperwork, your initial loan documents, your final loan documents. We have to have disclosures sent to you that have to be signed. We have time frames on those being signed up front and at the end of the process. And if those aren't signed in a timely manner, it can also delay the process.
Okay. Brittany, this was really awesome stuff. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time and your expertise. Folks, if you're getting a regular mortgage from a bank or from your local broker or from a digital lender online, the same stuff is happening, okay? And the same rules apply, okay? Be transparent, be responsive, be patient, and do as much upfront as possible and communicate as much upfront as possible, and that'll minimize your stress in the long run. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.